须耶，南无说须耶，南无我达摩须耶娑哈。须耶，南无说须耶，南无我达摩须耶娑哈。我南无曼珠须耶，南无说须耶，我达摩须耶娑哈。ye jetang zoge jona la janjo bado na de gyabso chi na ge junye ge be so na ge ro la ben je sang ge ro ba sho jetang zoge jona la janjo bado na de gyabso chi da ge junye ge be so na ge ro la ben je sang ge ro ba sho jetang zoge jona la janjo bado na de gyabso chi da ge junye ge be so na ge ro la ben je sang ge ro ba sho Bege Joshi Medoda, Rirali Shini de Gembadi, Sangi Shindo Mide Huayin, Drogen Danda Shila Juba Sho, Ankoro Rata Mendala Gantia Daya Pi. Please adjust your sitting posture according to the meditative postures of Vairocana. I think all sentient beings have been my mothers. All sentient beings have been my mothers, not just once, but for numberless times. All sentient beings are as kind as my mother in this life. In our mind, in our heart, generate loving kindness towards all mother sentient beings, thinking, how nice it would be if all kind mother sentient beings would have happiness and the causes of happiness that are virtues. May they have happiness and the causes of happiness. I'll cause them to have excellent happiness. Lama Deity, please bless me to be able to do so. Next, we generate compassion towards all suffering mother sentient beings by thinking, how nice it would be if all kind mother if all suffering how nice it would be if all kind mother sentient beings were to free from suffering and the causes of suffering that are non-virtues. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Our freedom from suffering and the causes of suffering. Lama Deity, please bless me to be able to do so. Next, we generate bodhicitta. First, we ask ourselves, who should take on the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and lower realms? I should take on the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and lower realms. Even though I should take on the responsibility, I do not have the abilities to do so. Who has such ability? Only those who have achieved the perfectly complete enlightenment have the abilities to do so. Therefore, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, by all means, I will achieve the perfect state of enlightenment. Next, we meditate on emptiness for a short while. The self and the aggregates do not exist as inherently one. If they were inherently one, they will become partless one. If they were partless one, they are following faults. It would be pointless to assert a self. The self would become many. The self would subject to productions and disintegration. It would be unreasonable to remember past lives. Karma one has done will be wasted. One would meet with karma one has not done. Therefore, the self and the aggregates do not exist as inherently one. The self and the aggregates also do not exist as inherently different. If they were inherently different, they would become unrelatedly other. Therefore, the self and the aggregates do not exist as inherently one or inherently different. As I always mention, as I always say, is that it is very important to conjoin the roots of virtue of our credos with the practice of six perfections, activities of our credos with the practice of six perfections. Thus, to conjoin each activity of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma with the practice of six perfections is as follows. The first one is generosity. The nature of generosity is a mind of giving. These 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma is for the sake of achieving the happiness and purifying sufferings of all sentient beings. If I'm able to cause this mind of feeling to manifest, then these roots of virtue or activity of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma will be conjoined with the practice of generosity. Next is morality. The nature of morality is a mind of abandonment. During these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma, I will properly abandon my physical and verbal misdeeds I will properly abandon them without letting them manifest. Next is patience. The nature of patience is an undisturbed mind, or a mind that is undisturbed. During these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma, I will patiently accept any physical or mental hardships and difficulties. Next is joyous effort. The nature of joyous effort is a mind enthusiastic for virtue. I will joyfully and enthusiastically engage in the roots of virtue of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma. Next is concentration. The nature of concentration is a single-pointed mind on any virtuous object. I will single-pointedly focus my mind on the roots of virtue of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma, without being influenced by distractions and recursive thoughts. Next is wisdom. The nature of wisdom is a knower that thoroughly distinguishes phenomena. I will properly and unmistakenly understand the words and meanings of the teachings that I listen to, contemplate, and meditate on. If I'm able to cause these minds to manifest gradually, then these roots of virtue will be conjoined with the practice of the 6 perfections. Set a good motivation. For the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. For this, I will listen to the teachings and practice accordingly in order to benefit sentient beings.
강도 강조 거거든요. 저 드리는 거 강조 되는 거는 무엇을 이게 그거 그 같은
슝을 소리는
거
달리기 인용하시 누가
이거 좀 단계는 거 다만 그 스탠다드를 주시려고
So today we are going to start with the fourth verse. The leisures and endowments are very hard to find. So we are going to talk about exaltation to take the essence on the support of leisures and endowments.
강조 뒤걸로 먼저 드려 와서 강조 되는 nimbo나 시서 강조 되는 신도 네바까 신도 가그레스다 강조 법이 뛴데라 아니 뭐 강비 취두고 그래서 다 되는데 강비 취두고 취두고데 취 관리 두고 취두비를 되는 강조인데 님바 신도 가와서다 이 주두고 예서와 이죠 다와진 저 거치 차이 이 최고지 디기 주두고 예서 와
So the fourth verse, first line, the leisures and endowments are very hard to find. So we need to practice holy dharma on this basis that leisures and endowments have been achieved, and we need to and we need to accomplish their causes, the causes of attaining this precious human rebirth with the leisures and endowments, possessing the 18 qualities.
다와 제 요거 계산이 지주지를 된거지 누구니 하듯이 두알 배트다 뭐저와 배트는 가면서에 단단 어차피 다와 진 도바에서 지주지가 되게 와 지주지가 되면은 다들이 이 두발 배 그나 지구를 두고 시작하는 당어지 멀리짱이 도구에나 가다 지진나게 송고래서 멀리짱 도발을 지진나게 송고래 예 마서발아 간다 좀 지원이 되고 말하는 거 지하고 매도요. 그와 나 단도 제빠지 더 발라 지리나 바다 시스템에서 맨날 좀 참자 그래서 파지 좀 도치에서 나도 참고와 그래서 참고
So in order to attain a precious human rebirth, possessing the 18 qualities, the 18 qualities are 8 leisures and 10 endowments, or 8 freedoms and 10 endowments. So in order to attain these, it is very difficult to attain this precious human rebirth because their causes are very difficult to be attained. So, however, we have this precious human rebirth with us right now. So to understand how difficult it is to attain a precious human rebirth, to attain, then we can understand through this. So to attain a mere human body, we need to guard a single morality. So without guarding a single morality, there's no way that one can attain a mere human body. So, and in order to attain a precious human body, then we must have the basis of pure ethics, then accompanied by generosity and so forth, and make connections with the saintless prayers. So therefore, we say that the causes for attaining human rebirths are very difficult.
비잉에 봐서는 당연히 무슨 밀리 짱이 더 발라가서 아무기 기본라서 그때 지진나지 마선바다 내가다 밀리 짱이 그것도 말했어
이게 주봉
지기로라서 뭐 지진나지 지진나지 마선바다 내가다 밀리 짱이 그것도 말했어 다 다진 조지 짱이 밀리 쳐바지 밀리 더 발라 다 대상이 누구요 말했어 지진나지 소마탄이 누구요 그래서 나 다와진 조바지 이게 쳐바지 더 발라 스트림 넘버 따바지. 그 스트림 넘버 따비 시선에 그 이바 지소 파시 주는 년에 지도. 지소 파르도 지도. 아주 단단 년에 지고라. 그래서 파시 주는 년에 지고라. 지소 파시 주는 오셔도지. 그러면은 정말이 상자와 같이 어떻게 제일 맛이 좀 그러나 나 참가. 와.
이게 주봉나 직사대 주의 낭내 나지요.
그래서 가면 소치 방법 지진다. 방법 지진. 리지 마서 발았다. 또 도야.
So to attain a mere human body, we need to guard a single morality. So a single morality such as the morality of abandoning 10 non-virtues. So we at least need to guard a single morality out of this morality of 10 non-virtues. For example, so we must at least, for example, guard the morality of abandoning killing, for example. So this is to attain a mere human body. So in order to attain a precious human body, guarding a single morality, such as guarding the morality of abandoning killing, is not enough. So we must have the pure ethics. We must have the basis of pure ethics, and then together with the six perfections, the practice of six perfections, such as generosity and so forth.
예수 바로도 지금 가서 모시고 지금 해서와 가지고 도지고 멜럼 도마미 참자서 멜럼 도마미 참자야 돼 많다라는 것을 느끼고 예 내가 첸디게 신이 막 내가 터지고 진 많다 첸디라 베지고 그래서 또 신바 요로 좀 신바 많다라 내가 터지고 그래서 당어서 멜럼 도마미 사실 멜럼 제우리 당어서 첸디라 베 나라 세리님의 디지피스도가 나라 디지비 나라 세롱지 피스도가 디지보라 첸디라 아사마방 딘디 말람 제바이나 아딘디 말스 아딘디 말람 좀 참자다 간디가 말람데 신신제 단지게 된다 상지지 고박하라 딘디기 봐 말람지 와 신신제 신제 단지의 디지와 신제 단지 등에다 줘 디지 말람지 어떤 말람 딘디지 모르겠어 뭔가서 면은 주마면서 면은 주마데 다리 주마다 제가 면은 가르스나 세인들라 신자 이 주마다 지 엄마 해봐 잡고요 와 나도 나지 세인들라 신나 쳐봐 미스 나지 신바 시다는 거와 세인들라 신나 쳐봐 그래서 당어서 또 상당한 또 상당한 또 쳐봐요
And we also need to have connected with stainless prayers. So connected with stainless prayers means that at least the prayers is made without the stain. So made without the stain means that we do not have clinging to these lives, to the happiness and the excellence of this life. So we do not cling to the happiness of this life. We do not cling to the excellences, for example, a delicious food in this life, and etc. So the prayer must be made without the stain. So if we were to make prayers for the sake of this life happiness, for the happiness of this life, and then in order to gain wealth, possessions, a delicious food in these lives, and etc., then the prayer is a stainless one. It becomes a stained prayer. So as we always say that if we, the one who cling to this life is not a Dharma practitioner. So we always say this as well. So how do we make a stainless prayer? So it is like, for example, when we make a prayer, then it is for the sake of all sentient beings to take for their happiness and then to purify their suffering. So if a prayer is made in this way, then it becomes stainless.
그러니까 방안서 안다 물리 터바 있는 다진 조직상의 물리 터다 아정 공부 병원에서 단단 것이 통하는 거 단단 것이 통하는 거 근데 물리 터바 인게라 안주 더 진저 버치 총의 파자 에 나지 바 차 마찬 우리 여사의 상사들另外서 배 공부를 너무 좋아 그래서确实와按照国满的的确实와 싸우는 캠을 와 that is on the bed. I was a military, Joanamaki, sitting at just one, cutting at the military. A military dinner, a military cover the coach chair. So, choose one the Shabana, up for my Shabana Chasa. What?
So it's very rare to obtain a precious human body with 8 leisures and 10 endowments because it's something that we can see in our real life as well. There are many people who are born as a human. However, they are born in a barbaric land, or they are born as a person who do not accept dharma. So from a dharma perspective, then they do not accept dharma. So even though they are born as a human being, however, it doesn't serve much purpose of being born as a human being born as a human being from the Dharma perspectives.
니나 콩바임비나 다와스 된다 들어와 와 담비 치 누발라 콩바임 이미 뒤 콩바임 뒤 얘네 다와스 콩바임비 뒤 되는 다와스 나는 콩바임 치야 저 내가 빌라스 열라도 그러와 이나 치르 치 열다 다와스 돼 다와스
So we also need to understand the great meaning or the significance of leisures and endowments. So, and leisures and endowments in Tibetan is called danjo. So danjo here, the first word, da is leisures or freedoms, and jo means endowments. So we must understand the meaning of these two words. So the first word, leisures, has the meaning of freedoms. So the leisures or freedoms to practice Dharma. So you have the time, or you have the leisure time, or you have the time which is free to practice Dharma. So you have free time to practice Dharma, or you have the leisure time to practice Dharma, then that is called leisures or freedom.
추두발라 미야 신나는 진지 여러와 추두발라 다 미야게 맞는 거 미야 그래서 신나는 진지 보러와 추두발라 가서 시인들이 나오는 진지에서 보러와 저 그거를 뭐다 추두발라 미야 신나는 진지 상황들라 봤어 와 봤어 들어
And endowments means that we have to we have to complete the necessity to practice Dharma. So wherever we need to practice Dharma, we have the complete set. So the complete necessity refers to the internal and external conducive conditions. So the complete necessity for practicing Dharma, that necessity refers to internal and external conducive conditions, and then that is what endowments means.
당가서 어디래 아까다 안주어서 두샤로시 자지로 뒤송당가 이와 단주 대전보다 단주 대전보사 당가서 막 대전보 상가에 가면 더 원하는 거 당가서 안다디 맞아 대전보사한테 지금 지금지 집이 된도 도바 줘봐라 대들라 편바 마두는 신이 안다 줘봐 가란 줘서 다디다 단주 대전보 상가 cited
So we need to contemplate how significant these leisures and endowments are. So, and this is what we are going to talk about in the fourth verse, the second line onwards. It says, "Since they accomplish the purposes of being, if I do not accomplish benefit upon this, how will I acquire this in the future?"
Oh, dear. That one that Danju Tenju Sandla, Danju to be Tindala, that one that Jim will do. Yes, Danju to be Tin Chadilla. That Danju, our change of what is saying, what you think about it told you. That is one to the Delma. Oh, did not have it. Even they did two good, yes, Jim did it. That Jim did it. And the card was a window than nearly. We did about you, the rest of Bala. That's so much Jim was happening. Yes, it was. And it became that Jim did it to yes, 제비게 되네. 단지 내가 두고대 제비게 되는데 가르쳐서 문도 함이 문도 미 공부 맡아봐이나 내가 제치고 두고요 뭐 두고 얘도 미 공부 맡아봐이나 내가 그렇게 공부 받아야 돼. 그러다 돼 두고요. 와 아무 문도 와 문도 미 함이 공부 쳐봐지 대토 맡아봐이나 내가 답아서 반드시 공부 또 돼야 버려요. 돼야 말아.
함이 개발진 데 맡아와이나
얘도 먹이 리딩 쳐봐지. 얘도 먹이 리딩 쳐봐지. 얘 맡아봐이나 딱 내내 잡아 주시고 공부를 줘야 말. 와. 어다 din이 두발라. 다 안다. 먼저 다 단다 띵들라. 얘도 내 공부 쳐봐지 또 제래. 내내 잡아 던지지 공부 줘야라. din이 항상 상하리고. 와. 어디 뭐 어떻게 좀 모르게. 또 간다. 전부 전부 제고를 해서 된다들 와. 된다들 얘도 아니 뭐 쳐봐지 더 번데 다 간다. 주저서 뭐로 해서 된다들 전부 제고를 해서 돼.
So the leisures and endowments are very hard to find, yet we have obtained this precious human rebirth with leisures, with complete leisures and endowments. Since they accomplish the purpose of sentient beings. So what are the purpose of sentient beings? So they wish they wish to attain high status and definite goodness, the definite goodness of omniscience and also liberations, and together with high status. So we need to accomplish the purpose of beings. So the purpose of beings refer to high status and definite goodness. So if they so if one did not attain precious human rebirth or a special basis of human body, then there is no way that one can achieve the definite goodness of omniscience. There's no way that one can accomplish this. So the leisures and the endowments are very hard to find, and then they have the ability to accomplish the purpose of sentient beings. When we have these conducive conditions, which is the precious human body with leisures and endowments to accomplish the purpose of sentient beings, therefore we must not waste this precious human rebirth.
와서 시lu 근데도 돼야라 앞에 뇌도다 내려와 기분 근데도 뇌도다 내려두니 이 체버지는 것도 거기 그래서 와 뇌도다 내려두야 이 체버지는 것도 거기에 다 띵들라 맞죠 와 띵들라 뇌도 지금 내려두야 제 맞지 봐이나 다 간다 시스 이제 두고 누사한테 비게 간다 쉬어지는 로한테 또 봐이나 다 단조서 단다 예 다와진조 버치 상수와서 띵그 토가고 싶으다 시스는 뜻이지 또야라 단단들의 양자 문진이 맞자면은 혼자 공부를 해서 시스 양자지 뜻이지 또는 이게 누구 이사 이게 쉬어지는 로한테 또 봐이나 쉬어지는 로한테 또 봐이나 하자 방법도 공부 쉬는 해서 시스 양자 뜻이 토토도 관심을 와
So we have obtained this special basis to accomplish the purpose of sentient beings, which is the high status and definite goodness. So if we waste this, so it means that if I do not accomplish the benefits of all sentient beings on this basis, if we let it go wasted, then how will I acquire this in the future? So it means that how will I, if I uh, uh, fall under the control of laziness, of procrastination, thinking that, oh, I will accomplish their benefits, accomplish their purpose in the future. So if I let this happen, then how will I acquire this in the future? So we do not know whether we will acquire this precious human rebirth in the future or not. We are not sure of it.
오, 됐습니다. 아까데 다른 치료 대화들이다. 기분 내려 두고 또 저걸 까데 들라 뱀바마 신들라 가서 이긴 집을 들라 마주나 시티 양다 저 가라 제스 양자 디지페 두야게 오가 하자 공부를 해서 공부이 무슨 원마 페이지 리고 좋아. 시중에 마 페이지 리고.
So it means that if we have obtained this precious human rebirth with leisures and endowments, which are very difficult to find, and we have the ability to accomplish the purpose of sentient beings. If I do not accomplish benefits upon this basis, how will I acquire this in the future? So acquire this precious human rebirth again in the future, since it is very rare to find. So how rare it is to find a precious human rebirth is illustrated through an analogy in the letter to a friend.
那就是按照你搞上对手的，你搞我这些这个东西长大，我不能这个说的话，不能这个刚才两次去拿起来背上的说的话，好像那等于说，按这边就是说你搞完你东西，也是他妈背的效果啊，那这样子去应用，因为那些不干，有空去研究，那日本我他是喜欢，日本我这边呢这里他是去，你记得日本这边讲说了，老俺这个接了人家。 我去也找的，那样的业务的了，大开不起，那这还叫公布了的，那心态长了的，对吧？那没习惯的是呢，刚才心态长了的，因为这样的，我在等的情况就没理说的，很多时候的，托个我等的时候的，等的托个我用这些的，我的人那个，当多的，那具体嘛，我什么你唱过的话，唱过现在等的差点的我就里边的背上，那讲说呢，那些的，讲说呢那些。 그거에 이제 소위 쭉 가사가 파트 거인의 그도와 거인의 로고와 단 리바지 월만지 너가자 제가 양장 고지야 잡아다 이것도 따다 태바지 그 던지기 배 심사상이 와 딘더지 그냥 저 단조스와 니가 뒤지 그래서 나도 배샤고
So how rare it is to find a precious human rebirth with leisures and complete leisures and endowments is illustrated by a example mentioned in Nagarjuna's letter to a friend, who says, since it is far more difficult to obtain a human rebirth from an animal rebirth than for a sea turtle's head to enter the aperture of a yolk floating upon the great ocean, O Lord of humans, make this life fruitful by practicing the excellent Dharma. So, and the great oceans then is very wavy. Then there is a aperture of a yolk. Then aperture of a yolk. Then this sea turtle only come to the surface every 500 years. And then for a sea turtle that comes to the surface of the water every 500 years, and then to go through the aperture of a yolk that floating around the great oceans that is very wavy, then it is not impossible. However, it is nearly impossible. So it is nearly impossible. However, this is how rare or difficult it is to gain a precious human rebirth with leisures and endowments. So because as I mentioned just now, to accomplish the cause of each and every leisures and endowments is very difficult. Therefore, it is very difficult to gain a precious human rebirth, since their causes are very difficult to obtain.
我等于就是说，当然说，对，俺对那个别电脑系统啊，都打成的电上的特点是吧？俺都打在电上的个特点是吧？他都接了人家那个，他第一接了俺就看到新的那个是的，当俺是第一接了嘛，第些是吧？台湾接的吧？俺在台湾接什么是木工比进接的台湾呢？台湾是对的吧？木工比进接的，木工比进接的嘛，咱我木工接过的嘛，学院有吧？
Yeah. So even though it is very difficult and rare to find this precious human rebirth, we have obtained this precious human rebirth, or this precious basis of leisures and endowments. So to understand what leisure is, basically leisures means the abandonment of 8 non-leisures. So the abandonment of 8 non-leisures constitutes leisure.
是这个情况这样的，老婆
空手的里面，
我把台湾是的很多的，一旦台湾结果在刚面包的看过，拉落去的，你是怎么这里话，这里汉地方呀，话，结果就不这种，那碰到恐怕你结果都没些东西吧，只有那些在这里的，那个说我们可比进去的话，也是，对吧？
So to identify the 8 non-leisures or 8 non-freedoms, and it is mentioned in Nagarjuna's letter to a friend, it says, to be born as one who adheres to wrong view, as an animal, hungry ghost, or hell being, in a land lacking the victor's woods, as a barbarian in some border region, to be born as foolish or stupid, or as a long-life god, are the 8 faults that are the non-leisures. Gain freedom, separation from this, and strive to put a stop to birth. So in Bodhisattva Charavatara, it quotes a letter to a friend regarding the 8 non-leisures. So to identify these 8 non-leisures, there is one way, easy way to recognize or to identify these 8 non-leisures. So these 8 non-leisures can be divided into 2 parts. So one part is 4 non-leisures of human, and then the second group is 4 non-leisures of non-human being. So 4 non-leisures of human being and 4 non-leisures of non-human being. Yeah. So regarding the second group, 4 non-leisures of non-human being, so it's very easy. So basically the 3 lower realms and also long life God. So and this long life God also includes some other types of God beings as well. So the 3 lower realms is animal, hungry ghosts, and also hell being. So if one were to born as an animal or a hungry ghost or as a hell being, then we will be born in a state of non-leisures or non-freedoms. So as mentioned just now, non-leisures or non-freedoms means that we do not have the time to practice Dharma. We do not have the leisures or freedoms or time to practice Dharma. So that is what leisures and non-leisures means. So, however, we are free from these non-leisures. So if one were to born in hell, then do we have the opportunity to practice Dharma or not? And whether we have the opportunity to practice Dharma or not if we were to born in hell, and then this can be understood through an example. So if our head is on fire, so if our hair or our head is on fire, do we have any thought to practice the thought of practicing Dharma or not at that time. So we can understand through this example analogy. Yeah, so that's why we say hell realm is a state of non-leisures or non-freedoms, is because if one were to born in a hell realm, then one will experience one will experience a very intense suffering, and in a hell realm, then the Dharma teacher is very rare in hell realms. Even if for oneself, even if oneself wants to practice Dharma, then one doesn't have the ability to practice Dharma as well because of the intense suffering, such as one has to experience the very intense heat suffering and also cold suffering. So when we meditate on this topic about the precious human rebirth with leisures and endowments, then we have to think it this way. So we have to think that I have obtained this precious human rebirth with complete leisures and endowments. Then we rejoice in ourselves, or we generate delight in ourselves. And then we also generate delight in ourselves that now we are not born in the hell realm. So we also rejoice in ourselves. So we think that if one were to born in hell realm, then one has to experience intense suffering. So even in the hell realms, a Dharma teacher is very rare. Then even if oneself wants to practice Dharma, one has no ability to do so because of the intense suffering. So I have this freedom from these non-leisures. So I have this precious human rebirth. So then you generate delight, or rejoice in yourselves. And then I'm not born there for the time being. Then you also generate delight or rejoice in yourself.
제마리 누가이나 누가 집안에서 집밖에 요 말해서 간다. 쓰이다 제마리 집밖에 요 말해서. 어디다 나지 해서.
So again, then you continue your meditation, thinking that if I were to born in an animal realm, then let's say then we have to experience different types of suffering, such as being put to work. For example, if one were to born as a donkey, then one has to carry loads and etc., cows and etc., horse and etc. So one has to experience the sufferings of being put to work. And then besides that, one also has to experience the sufferings of being preyed on. So animal, the bigger one, eat the smaller one, for example. And then one will be killed for for the enjoyments of human beings. For example, human beings kill animal beings for their skin, for their hide, for their blood, for their meat, for their bones, and then for their horns and etc. So sentient animal beings are killed for the enjoyments of human beings. So as an animal being, one has to experience different types of intense sufferings as well. So if one were to born as an animal, so even a lama is in front of you, even the actual Buddha is right in front of you, and no matter how precious the teachings is, then as an animal being, then they do not understand the precious Dharma teachings. It's just like an example is a donkey. If you put gold into the ear of donkey, then donkey would just how to say shake its ears and then to shake it away. Then even if you put sand in it, then donkey would just do the same thing, also just shake its ears and then just to shake those whatever things that you put into its ears away. So it means that no matter how precious it is that you put into the ears of donkey, then for donkey there is no difference. They will just shake it off.
방어서 전도를 이해하나 어디 주체 그거 요 말해서 다 먹고 있는 제사 해서 제사에 다 이달아 대가리스 다 이달아 가서 제공 그동안 휴식 모르와 다 이달아 제공 그동안 네 사야 말아 그냥 말아 근데 강에 장장 돈이 다 간다 다 드신도 와그 근데 돈이 다 간다 먹고 있는 제가 해서 다 대가는 지와
So if I were to born in an animal realm, then I do not have the opportunity to practice Dharma. Similarly, if I were to born as a hungry ghost, then I have to experience the intense sufferings of hunger and thirst, that I do not find any food and do not find any drink in the hungry ghost realm. Then I have to spend a very long time enduring such great difficulties and suffering. Think in this way.
어디로 다 먹고미 뭐 신호로 가다 나와 이다 들고 손도 살에 다대 지대 다 사실 뭐서 뒤로와 다 사실 뭐서 와 가서 수매지 수도 지워다 수매지 수도 지워다 다 산디 시가 가서 니신이 하세
공다 수매 수수 기억이 하당
산디 시가
산디 시가
산디 시가 비게 우리 니신이 하세 니신이 하세 산디 시가 그것도 말와 산디 시가 그것도 니신이 다 오다 근딜라 지와라와이나 아간다 먹고는 취취야 다 간다 가와요 말이스
다층 뭐라 공수도요 제니가 수매 수수 기억이 하당 삼디 시바 두시메비 하
오다 하체를 뭐서 너가 그냥 쓰는 것으로 해질만
That's all. Yeah. So we have already covered the first three non-leisures of non-human beings, which is animal, hungry ghosts, and foul being. Then the fourth one is born as a long life god. So born as a long life god includes the god in the formless realm, who are ordinary being, and also those gods in the fourth dhyana, which is without perception, the gods of non-perceptions in the fourth dhyana. So these two, the god in the formless realm, who are ordinary beings, and god without perception in the fourth dhyana. So these two are included within the term long life God. Yeah, so it is called long life God because it is being a God, and it is it is long. They have long life in relation to human being, or in relation to human lifespan. They have a longer lifespan. So that's why they are called long life God. They are being a God being. They are being a God, and they have longer lifespan in relation to human lifespan. That's why they are called long life God. And being a long life God, then they will, like for example, they will stay in the meditative civilization for many eons, and for those gods in the formless realm who are ordinary beings, they do not. It is very rare for them to practice Dharma newly. So it means that in the formless realm, there is no form, right? That's why it's called formless. There's no form. There's no sound of Dharma as well, because there's no form. So there's no sound of Dharma. That's why they do not have the fortune to listen to the Dharma, since there is no sound of Dharma. So this is about a god in the formless realm who are ordinary beings. And then the god in the fourth dhyana, called non-perceptions or without perceptions. Then these types of god being, when they born in the fourth dhyana, they only have these two thoughts or have these two perceptions. So when they are newly born there, they have this perception: I'm born here. And then when they are dying, then they have another perception: I'm dying. So they only have these two perceptions, and in between they spend eons. They spend eons in the yeah. So they spend eons in the state of meditative civilization, and then when they are in this state of meditative civilization, they are enjoying, or they are using the roots of virtue they have accumulated in the past, and then they stay in this state for many eons, and in which there is no opportunity to accomplish new virtue.
about mom, still a new, gets a lot of more, she started a still a long in Jebu, still a long in the that was given. That was that big in Jebu, game Jebu, the Malonchi, the Masero, the say color, the man as soon as Rola Machia, Martin, as soon as Machia, Mato, a young Canada. Who gets a sergeant, cover Mamma to get a sergeant, full long jet. So long jet, that's so long jet, then Jebu the Senate. The long jet, long jet, and Jebu to Masero, among and Rola Joe. So much you are to yet you are some bullet to a kioma. That's not saying what I must say what I got.
So in that state, they are continuing. They continue to enjoy their roots of virtue accumulated in the past, and then when their merits exhausted, so it's just like I say we are enjoying the fruits, right? So when these fruits of merit exhausted, then they have no choice but to born in lower realms. And because of the exhaustions of these fruits, meritorious fruit, then they do not born in the good realm.
Also, those truths, those something dying that, but the Dindi, Mogovini, and so soon that, the wa, so soon that, then Nawa Ida Dindo, is soon down. They can that that's it. That's so a G, Mindy, Diane, Sas to say, G, a garage goes to the wa, a choosy garage goes to the wa, that's right. Combine like Jim Dukanda, Nawa Ida Dindo, that's it.
So we take some time to meditate on these points that these four non-leisures of non-human being. So the four non-leisures of non-human being includes the three low realms and also long life God. Then think that so lucky that I'm not born in any of these state of non-leisures. To take some time to meditate on this. So again, rejoice in yourself that I have obtained this precious human body with which I can practice Dharma. Upon this, I can practice Dharma. Then you generate rejoice, or you rejoice in yourself, or you generate delight.
Oh yeah. 사람한테는 어디다 무고비 와 무고비
미만이
지는 다가다 미만이 무고비 시대 두는 거 와. 미만이 무고비 시대 와. 다간다 미만이 무고비 두서라 다간다 니 두서라 치잖아 다 치료해야 거가 다 같이 하나 내봐 와. 그거 시작해 봐. 아들 소다 소라 간다 가서 제요 말이다 가서 스케 와서 뭐 있어 걔는 다 공사 와.
So these are the four non-leisures of non-human being. So as I mentioned just now, if we were to born in any of this state, then we will not have any. Then we will not have much opportunity to practice Dharma. And then we also remind ourselves that how fortunate we are. So next is the four non-leisures of a human being. So when we talk about the eons, so eons, when Buddha has not come to the world, then that realm or that kind of realm, we call it a realm of darkness. An eon of darkness. So the eon where Buddha has not come to the world, and then we call that kind of eon as eon of darkness. And whereas eon where Buddha has come to the world, then we call that kind of eon as the eon of light. In terms of time or durations of time, the eon of darkness is longer than the eon of light. So even if one were born as a human being, a precious human body, obtain this precious human body, then still is very difficult to meet with the eon of light where Buddha has come to the world. So even though one has obtained a human body, even though one has obtained a human body, still it is very difficult for one to meet with the eon of light where Buddha has come to the world. Still, then again, we rejoice in ourselves that we have, we are born, we meet with the eon of light where Buddha has come to the world. And, not only that, we have, the words of Dharma or the speech of Dharma still remains. So not only that we are born, not only we meet with the eons of light where Buddha has come to the world, and then we also born in a time when there is Buddha words remain. So rejoice in ourselves.
早晚年马的有人把谈过，谈过时候呢，我就去马的什么马的路过哇，谈过。啊，上进几天了，皮皮胳膊赢了呀，啊，到上进几天了，皮皮胳膊进来，接流了哇，接流的赢了呀，得刚才搞的上，到上进几天了，皮皮胳膊赢了呀，去早晚年马的有人把谈过的呢，谈过点的了，他说，基本赢了，啊，去天高有么多。去天高有马了，那点嘛一把去打赢，高啊点的去把赢的，去打上的高啊点的给你吧，啊，到底就去掉是的，那到那个就得上，那的啊，你那个就是高啊的那个是吧
？So again, if one were to born in an eon where Buddha has come to the world, then we are not born in a place in a barbaric land where Buddha Dharma has not spread. So, if one were to born in a barbaric land where Buddha Dharma has not spread to, then still we do not have the opportunity to listen to the Dharma. So that again rejoice in ourselves that we are born at a time or born in the realm. Sorry, we are born in the eon, meet with the eon of light where Buddha has come to the world, and we also born in a country or a place where Buddha Dharma has spread to. So rejoice in ourselves.
我觉得话，到上进几天了，皮皮，个明白的，去早年马的有人把谈过点的基本呢，啊，去天高啊明白了吧？点明白是的，那么去他也高啊，那我这么的，对嘛，学的当不就没说的当不，意识到这个方面，是吧？没么个关系，当不光是修的，那这一个明白，谈过的，老大姐，那老教的那老那是常记住了，是吧？我对西的对的，当不没么个关系的嘛，那就讲个的了，是吧？
没看嘛西的人家送入，
没么个关系的，当的这一个明白，其实这一个谈过是教，谈过的是吧？老大姐的话，老大姐的话，老大姐，那老姐嘛，练习过吧？你应该记住了，是吧？我的嘞，在西的的话。
So probably it's easier for us to identify the four non-leisures of human being. So the four non-leisures of human being, the first one is in a land lacking the victor's words. The second one is as a barbarian in some border region. The third one, to be born as one who adheres to wrong view. The third one is to be born as foolish or stupid. The fourth one is to be born as one who adheres to wrong view. So I repeat, these are the four non-leisures of human being. The first one is in a land lacking the victor's words. The second, as a barbarian in some border region. The third one, to be born as foolish or stupid. And the last one is to be born as one who adheres to wrong view. So what I explained just now are related to these non-leisures of human being. So the first one is born in a time where there is no Buddha's words, where Buddha has not come to the world. So then the second point is, even if we were to born in a realm where Buddha has come to the world, we are not born in a country or place where Buddha Dharma has not all spread to. So if one were to born in such some border region where Buddha Dharma has not spread to, then still one still do not have the opportunity to listen to the Dharma, even if one were to born in an eon where Buddha has come to the world.
刚刚说的，上级级的了批评，要不也去早晚的马的有人把谈过的了结婚呢，是吧？通过了结婚呢，那确实搞我要马的意思，那点嘛去打一个我的了结婚一定，刚刚是打一下多少的生当是吧
？Right. So rejoice that we are not born in a barbaric land where Buddha Dharma has not at all spread to.
那上进级的了，送把上进级的了批完了呀，批呢，去打啊，打上去了记得呢，是吧？ 다 상진 지대라 배 최장 다 딘디 다와이네 야다 니 소소 렘바다 쿠파 람바 자와니 랑기 미히바 마지 히지 가질라와이나 딘디 미히베 렘바 지나 렘바 지바이나 아 치시야 가와 요마르와 가와 베사도와 치시야 가와 요마르와 오 치치야 가와 요마리스 네 묘스다 딘다 마이바 소소라 네 레닌지 비히로 요바 딘디지 알라 제도 때 가와서 머리에 스스로 레닌지 비히로 요바 지가 지디로와
그러니까 리니지
비히로 와 다 레닌 예바다 예반지 비히로 요바야 네 스스로 요바야 때 가와서 머리에 누워서 와
So even Buddha has come to the world, and even if we were to born in a place where Buddha Dharma has spread to, and if we were to born as foolish or stupid, that we are unable to understand the objects of adoptions and abandonment, no matter how much other taught us, then still we do not have the opportunity to practice Dharma as well. So we must rejoice and also think about how fortunate we are that we have the wisdom to differentiate good from bad.
다 상진 지대라 배 다와니 그 다와이나야 다 소소 렘바도 쿠바도 랑도 자와니 미히바 랑도 미히바 마디 히지가 세도나 미히바 딜리 제바이나다 최시야 가와 요마르와 이거 가야 마레 인다 마이바 마스다 니네지 비셔로 있었다데 안데시미 소소 배 가와 요마레 다 딜리나야 아 레구 이 마이나야 나 들어와 렘바도 쿠바지 마이나야 서 내가데 들어와 렘바도 쿠바지 마이나야 아 로다지 미치와 가마게 치러와 지와 가마나서야 못달라 하장 공부 추천부 연기 보다 공부 추천부 연기 미왕게 공부 지와 가시다 내진데 요마 그죠 요마 생기 들리는 로다지 지와 내가이나 로다지나 아 치르야 하 도와대 요마스나 아저 공부해서 치르야 가 요마레스 데이터 많이 봐 나도 따야서야 성장이 좋아.
So again, even if Buddha Dharma has come to the world and we are born in a place where Buddha Dharma has spread to, and we are not born as a foolish or stupid. So if we did not born as a foolish or stupid, then yet if we were to born as one who adheres to wrong view, then we do not have the opportunity to practice Dharma as well. So this is the fourth non-leisure of a human being, to be born as one who adheres to wrong view. So adheres to wrong view. One who adheres to wrong view are those who greatly familiarize themselves with wrong views in the past, and due to this familiarization in these lives, they hold the wrong view, thinking that there is no Buddha Dharma, there's no three jewels, there is no cause and effect. Then if one were to hold on to this wrong view, then one doesn't have the opportunity to practice Dharma as well. So if I were to born as one who adheres to wrong view or hold the wrong view, then I will not have the opportunity to practice Dharma. So I'm not born like that. I do accept Dharma. I do accept rituals. I do accept cause and effect. So how fortunate I am that I'm not born as a person who hold the wrong view. So to each point that you're free, to each freedom or separation from these non-leisures, you generate delight or rejoice in yourselves.
这达瓦界的下午的，到我后面境界的开头都多说的，达到6多，我后面境界的开头都达瓦界是，我都是想达瓦界是。当我说达瓦是要的，那就去这的话，我后把达瓦不能给多说差的话，就达瓦是呢，空白，我空白是就这个，没吧，空白吧，我记得吧，到我后面接的开头都达瓦界是，是不？当我说达进就去这样意思，达瓦界。就把这才一定是为了，那达瓦界都是吧？
So we say that we have attained this precious human rebirth with complete leisures and endowments, and there are 8 leisures. So these leisures are the opposite of non-leisures. So we have just identified the 8 non-leisures, right? So the opposite of 8 non-leisures, or abandoning the 8 non-leisures, constitutes leisures. So there are 8 leisures or 8 freedoms. Separation from this are the 8 leisures or 8 freedoms.
我大体代表看到我后面第接的这于第三步投放的，那第三步的不那么规定的改变，不是改变，也代表看到我后面间接的这于，我后面间接的这于第三步投放的，我们后面间接的这于第三步投放的，那么这个改变，啊，这个可能你莫来把去结婚就。上对的，什么结果是吧？什么去找我结果？什么去找我，对吧？或者什么去找我是干嘛的建议的，对吧？但我后面间接的，我是间接的看掉了吧？我后面间接过，给他改第三步客观的，我说那么工作改的，你我改的，你啥工作改的，改的并且接，第三步的就是但你我两把些，不是什么去，去找我解决，对吧？什么去找我去？
So, so we take a minute to meditate on this point that I have obtained this precious human rebirth, separate from non-leisures, and all these are due to the great kindness of Lama and the jewels. So remember the kindness of Lama and the jewels, so that I have obtained this precious human rebirth, and all these are due to the kindness of Lama and jewels. First, you remember the kindness, and then second, you generate a strong thought, thinking that on this basis, I must take the essence.
我也推荐了，我的那个做，我后面间接的这一头呢，对吧？这个特别电商部去特别在哇，他的他们啊是说，我写吧去，就是我写呢，我写吧的，写我写过去说过来，我写不的，不写吧去，写吧当年丢过嘛。哦，他等于是，然后去，对，后面间接的这一电商部拖的，电商部拖把的你，确实当然这个都没都，他这个上当给全部讲过的，你确实的多人这个没都，电商部的那些人家通过来都，你电商部都等于帮我接吧。对不对？上班去找我接个啥的，对上么那一头的啊，去你不能把就接你上班哪些你那就发个微信给我，上班工作的快在的微信的工作啊，工作的快在的就往微信工作，微信的就在这了，那个什么钱大大利润是吧？就是个厂，对不对吧？我这个我的。
So after generating a strong thought, thinking that upon this basis I must take the essence, then this is the motivational thought. So you generate a strong motivational thought, thinking that I want to take the essence upon this basis. Then you must connect this preparatory motivation with the actual sessions. So actual session means that you have to engage in activities that do not waste this precious human rebirth, because we we understand that we have this precious human rebirth with complete leisures and endowments. We are free from these 8 non-leisures. So after identifying this, then we must make this attainment, or make this precious human rebirth, make this how say we must make this attainment of precious human rebirth a meaningful one. Means that we do not waste this precious human rebirth. So just knowing that we are free from these non-leisures that we have, and we have obtained this precious human rebirth itself is not enough. We must conjoin this understanding with the actual sessions. So, and on top, then you also think about uh, this precious human rebirth. Is it okay if I if I waste this precious human rebirth or not? So you also think about how rare it is, and then you want to make this precious human rebirth a meaningful one.
That's how much you do, Bola. Somebody you use it. I was on the Dawa Imamada. Dawa, Chu Dubola Kumba. You might in it, that your mother. That you may say, Chu Dubola Kumbi, you may say, it's much of that. Chantan, the children, let's see your one. Yes, Lavaina. It's much of that. That. We need to go to the children with the Chadier. Our Nazi Sama Tata, Nani Chiguri, the Portugal, Nani Chiguri. That makes a lot of mother. You know, the children is a lot of my. Yeah, our cousin is our Jin, our Jin, our Jin, that's one. Then they can like so.
So after identifying these 8 leisures, the opposite of it is 8 non-leisures. So after identifying all these, then there's no excuse for us to say that I have no time to practice Dharma. Like if you were to, after learning about these 8 leisures, and still if you were to say that, oh, I have no time to practice Dharma, then it will become a lie. So, and upon this basis, then we must put this into a good use to learn Dharma, to practice Dharma as well. So if you were to identify yourself as no time to practice Dharma, then you must say it out right now.
Jill, this is Milazan, I chose Tawaji, Summa Marisaki to me that. Tawaji, the Dimachi Maria is the Buddha.
So in case if any of you were to say to me in the future that I have no time to practice Dharma, then I would ask you this good questions. Do you not have the complete leisures?
Tawaji, Dimachi. Someone was somebody go up where Chantis are. What Tawaji is it?
So these are the 8 leisures, and in relation to each leisures, then we have already generated delight. We meditate on it, and we also generate delight in relation to each point. So having freed from the 8 non-leisures or the state of non-leisures, then we have these complete 8 leisures, or we have the complete freedom, complete freedom or complete leisures.
All of the Vigila, and you watch your and you watch the Tawaji and Rosaji, and you watch the Ranjo Young ass, Yorua, the weather, the Ranjo was a Shinjonga.
Yeah. So we've covered the 8 leisures. So next is 10 endowments. These 10 endowments can be divided into 2 groups as well. The 5 personal endowments and 5 endowments based on others.
Many each one on Lentamana near his did so many each one on Lentamana near his. But they are to make Sumara. You don't do shipping Sumara. So Tawaji, which is a Tawaji, do shipping. Look at the city degree, making the Sumara.
So regarding the 8 non-leisures, and these are quoted from Nagarjuna's letter to a friend. And then with regard to the 10 endowments, the first group is the 5 personal endowments. And these 10 endowments are mentioned in Hearer's Grounds by Asanga. So the 5 personal endowments are human, born in a central land, complete powers, not having erred in extreme actions, faith in the sources. So these are the 5 personal endowments. So personal endowments means that it is so the personal endowments means the conducive conditions to practice dharma that is present in oneself. That is present in oneself, or that oneself must complete. That oneself must have the complete conducive conditions to practice dharma. So basically, personal endowments means that oneself must have the conducive conditions to practice dharma, or in relation to oneself, the conducive conditions to practice dharma in relation to oneself, and it doesn't depend on others. It is not related to others. So the 5 personal endowments, the first one is being a human, and the second one is born in a central land. The third one is born with complete powers. The fourth one is not having erred in extreme actions. And the fifth one is having faith in the sources. Regarding the first personal endowments, which is being human, so in order to practice dharma, the basis, the basis that has the greatest ability is a human, a human being, or the basis of being a human, the basis of human body is has the greatest ability to practice Dharma. So, and this is related to to the Tantra context that because this basis has the complete 6 elements, so which since is related to Dharma, I'm not going to go in depth with it. So, however, it means that this basis of human body has the greatest ability to practice Dharma, and there's no basis is superior to this. So, it means that this is the most superior one. And even in the Lamrim commentary, it says that those ordinary bodhisattvas who born in the Sukhavati, the Amitabha land, they also make prayers. To be born in this Zambuling, in this world system as a human being. Even ordinary bodhisattvas who born in Amitabha Pure Land Sukhavati, they make prayers to be born in this Zambuling, this basically the world system that we take rebirth in right now. So they wish to be born as a human being in this Zambuling. So this is mentioned in the Lamrim commentary, in one of the Lamrim commentaries. So not only that we are born as a human, we are born in this continent. So basically, there are 4 continents when we in the mandala, then we say that there are 4 continents, and then we are 所以 Zambuling 啲球有啲喎，no Russia, Zambuling Russia. So we are born in the southern, we're born in the southern continent called Zambuling. So and then, so not only that we are born as a human, we are born in the southern continent. So, because if we were to born in other continent, then how's it? Their basis or their body is not a suitable basis to generate vows in their continent. It is not a suitable basis to take vows. So, like for example, in the in the northern continent called not pleasant. So if one were to born in this northern continent of not pleasant, then that basis is not a suitable basis to take vows.
Oh, the logic didn't do. So, actually, more Jevundua, more J. Should Jimmy say that is the more Jenny than the Yois. More Jenny for the logic when it's sharing. So, Baba Machi has seen a G2 talk about Joan more jet and the chitty. That's Ahmad Hilais. Ahmad Joakalan more jealousy. That the logic is the Resha. That's Amada. When a transition dominant in a Gilun said that them by Yabu Jet Shah, it's a Gilun, said that them by Yabu Shuji Jawan Shah, Gelong, said that them by Jawan Shah, the Gilash. So when it's a Chunda.
Oh, that's the link she call out.
Oh, don't dominate Bala. Don't dominate like you don't say that them by Jawan Shah. I say,
yeah, so even this is it happens that some people who are great in doing great in divination, then someone whose mothers has passed away, and then the children, one of the children then went to ask this astrologer or those who are great, the one who is great in divination, and ask where my mother take rebirth, in which realm my mother take rebirth, and then the great astrologer say, or the great in divination say to one of the children, saying that your mother took rebirth in northern sorry 讲 dominion 给弄切当点吧
给切的呀，我到过切的点不就叫
的可是的冇马信吧对不对
表面点不了，叫那小子给弄切的点
给弄那的讲嘛连出嘛
节奏都把咱们定了给弄切的点叫那小子老点为什
yeah so sorry, I have to rephrase this story. So, okay, it happens that there is an astrologer, then someone whose mother just passed away. So then this son, for example, this son went to see this astrologer and asked where his mother take rebirth, in which realm his mother take rebirth in. Then the astrologer said to the son, saying that, oh, your mother took rebirth in the northern continent of Not Pleasant as a qualified as a fully ordained monk with qualification.
那给弄切的点嘛叫那小子，叫咱们的给弄有嘛个，给弄东北这点或者超了嘛，上这个熊或者那有啥可能，像咱们东北新派东北这点或者嘛的是。那个没经历的有了，没经历的来嘛，没经历没法子，那这里也是这里怎么心里这里我的是，讲了这个没不讲不了是，这个我们
Yeah, so however, in the northern continent of Not Pleasant, so there is no fully ordained monk at all. So there is no vows at all. So it is not a basis in the scripture. It says that those basis or those beings who born in the northern continent are not a basis suitable for vow. So means that when this son went to ask the astrologer in which realm my mother took rebirth, then the astrologer said, "Oh, your mom took rebirth as a fully ordained monk, and in the northern continent of Not Pleasant." So means that this astrologer was telling lie. So when so you all also like to ask for definitions, right?
那都是这样，这工商就是生活的，那这被老人要过去的，没见过嘛，自己见过嘛，可不嘛的。就晓得我，是说这个娘的老人要过去呢，没见过要么自己见过，要么自己生活的事。我也是这样的。
And His Holiness Dharma say the truth that if you practice Dharma, then there is no need for you to go for astrology, and there is no need to go for definition.
他这里这个小人意思，他这里蛮主要的吧？他这里就是在图钱啊，他这里主要这里没得。
Yeah, thank you very much. And then I will stop here. And today we do not have time for question and answer. Yeah, so if you have any questions, you can, if you have any questions, then please ask in next class. We conclude with dedication. We dedicate these fruits of virtue to the flourishing of Buddha Dharma and to the excellent happiness of all sentient beings. And we also dedicate these fruits of virtue to all upholders of Buddha Dharma, mainly His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to live beyond long, to have excellent health, and may all their enlightened activities and holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously and spread in all directions. We also dedicate these fruits of virtue specifically to our beloved teacher, Kyabsi Lama Zopa Rinpoche. May the unmistaken reincarnations of Rinpoche be swiftly returned, and turn the wheel of Dharma for the sake of teachings and sentient beings, so that we will have the opportunity to receive the profound teachings from Rinpoche again. And we also dedicate these fruits of virtue to the world peace. May excellent happiness prevail in the world. May world be free of may wars, conflicts, disaster, natural disaster. Natural disaster are harms caused by the four elements, so such as earthquake and a flood and etc. be pacified immediately, and may pandemic diseases be pacified immediately as well. And may whatever that we wish for, may whatever wish that we wish for, such as the wish for our good business, wish for a good business, wish for a good career, be accomplished without any obstacle.
Sabi kiwa de tendang zhuwa kun la kambe dang kiwa jisu lo san zhawa yi tenbe nimbo rindo se che shuo cha chu sen cho rinpo che ma kie pa na ki kyu chi nyamba me ba yang kune kondo pe wa shuo wa we chi da kin ba dang kondo sa po de yang de shin de de da kye che so da lo je kiwa de da dang che ra to kune ta rinpo che ma kie pa na ki kyu chi ke ba nyamba me ba yang kune kondo pe wa shuo de ta ma rinpo che ma kie pa na ki kyu chi ke ba nyamba me ba yang kune kondo pe wa shuo 因接送度就别让解决实质，针对跟前那对方的增加说，把所有的所些的高效，健康的本地毛对吧？他们就会相对一些都肯定是没得增加说，把所有的速度些的高效，当然的不给生意让做多少叫话颜色就把这让讲是一个有好的把准备给，有时候准备都得人不接，准备自己别忘了，那样没事准备国家就准备解决，把把所有的本地毛都准备国际部。这一点到嘛就多，也听到几个怎么这边我都不喜欢去的人来，把我当接受感受起来，当天身上的都给老母亲，对面对面养着上来，给上东西别多东西。难怪各位情况特别大的话，马上就会的，平时生活电子交通一下被身体不能够去。